But here we go, we're getting to our second series of the night, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the... there we go. We have the Swedish Zerg player, the Yellow Zerg. Representing Team Ruddy, it is Fjant. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into the second round, both Fjant and Zoun are definitely closer in skill. They're both, of course, competitive pro players. Zoun recently returning from the military. He is the most recent player, or Korean player, to return from the military service and has been improving quite a lot over time. What I will say, though, coming into this is that Zoun, his strongest matchups are PvP and PvT. PvZ is where I believe Zoun is at his weakest. Still a strong competitor, don't get me wrong, but if there were to be an upset, I would imagine it would be in this matchup. So we'll see how Fjant can compare. We'll see if he can bring down, I would say, the favorite player in Zoun. Let's go. Let's go. As Fjant, of course, is an upcoming player in the European region, has been improving quite a lot over the years. How does he compare? For now, Hatch Gas Pool. For now, standard opener out of Fjant, everything looking as it should. Meanwhile, we do see Zoun going for his own Gate Expand back at home. So Gate Expand into Cyber Core, so to be going for his tech of choice. Zoun, he isn't really one to mix up the early game too often. Isn't really one to go into Glaive Adepts or into DT-based openers, so we should be seeing a Stargate into standard play, but we'll keep an eye on Zoun on the pylon placement and on the tech of choice. We'll keep an eye on him. So now Fjant is going to be joining up, saturating his bases, soon to be taking his third. Pylon has been placed for Zoun. Based on this location, should be a Stargate here. Typically, if it's a Twilight Council or a Robo, we would hide the tech further back and throw it in the pylon closer towards the, or behind the mineral line. So closer to the edge of the map should be a Stargate. Stargate is indeed on the way. From here, we could open up Oracle. We could still open up Void Ray as well. Based on the rally, does look like an Oracle opener here out of Zoun, but we'll keep an eye on the Protoss as Fjant does expand. Third base has been taken. Going to be saturating, going to be joining. Likewise, I haven't had the luxury of casting too much Fjant in the latest patch, so I'm curious to see how he does approach this. We have seen a lot of mid to late game play here in ZVP as of late, especially because it can be quite difficult to pull off these all-ins, especially on a map like Amygdala. 2 base play and even 2.5 base play has slowly been phased out of the meta. And we have the answer. We have the tech of choice here. We do see the re-rally towards a natural that is not an Oracle. It is a Void Ray first. Okay, Zoun, you have my attention. Void Ray opener out of Zoun. Now with a Void Ray opener, we could go for some hidden tech. This could be a Void Ray into a second Stargate into a Fleet Beacon. This could be a Void Ray into a Twilight Council into Glaive Adepts. This could even be into a Twilight Council into a charge-based all-in. Like, there's options here for Zoun. We'll see what it goes for. As the Overlord does move out. Well, sorry, the Void Ray moves out. The initial Overlord here at the natural is kept safe and sound, though. See, Zoun is hunting for Overlords. Is going to be an Oracle behind this, setting up for a third base, but I'm most curious about the tech of choice. So Overlord is coming in for a scout. A Void Ray is otherwise distracted. Lings, they do hit and get eyes on the third base timing. Oracle's in position. And the third base is safe and sound. Oh, there it is. Okay, Twilight Council as the third gets taken. This could be one of two things. Either this could be Glaive Adepts here out of Zoun, or we could end up headed into early Blink to be aggressive and assertive early on. I'm going to lead towards Glaives. I'm not too fond of early Blink on Amygdala. I don't know if it's quite necessary. Basically, an early Blink build is designed to keep you safe against something like a Roach All-In. If a Roach All-In were coming across the map, then Blink does finish in time, and you can completely shut it down. This is a way to be assertive on the map as well, but on a map as large or as long as Amygdala, it can be quite difficult to maintain that assertion. But there it is, Forge on the way. It shouldn't be Glaives. Typically, Glaives doesn't coincide with Forge because the Forge doesn't really add any value to that upgrade. And yep, there it is. Blink is on the way. So it's going to be early blink here from Zoun. This tells me that Zoun can be aggressive and active early on because blink is going to finish up earlier than normal. So he can be in the face of Fjant. And he can even set up a proxy pylon across the map to reinforce. We'll see if he commits. We'll see how aggressive Zoun is going to be. As he does shade towards the natural. Keeping tabs on Fjant. Fjant behind this did go for a safety Roach Warren. Is joining up, saturating his third. Has not really made any lings. So far is keeping up. And here come the Stalkers from Zoun. As I did mention, Zoun can be aggressive and active earlier than normal. Is already moving out. We have 2 more gates behind this. And how many gates so far? We are set up on 6 gates. 6 gates for the time being. Extra gases are being taken. These extra gases tell us that we're going to be taking into either Storm or Colossus. See what direction Zoun does head in. Meanwhile, was that a kill? Ooh, that was a cancel. Okay, cancel here on the hatchery. The 4th base is denied. Nice pickup here by Zoun. Fjant getting supply blocked. Now is not the time. Does catch a couple of Stalkers. Not bad. Blink is not done. Blink is barely not done. We spoke about the tech because of the gases, and there it is. Temple Archives on the way. That's going to be for Storm. And Zoun is gearing up towards the mid-game, towards a later game state. But already starting these off quite well. Denying the 4th base was a huge pickup here for Zoun. It does slow down Fjant significantly. So Zoun got what he wanted. Taking his own 4th. Timing is on par with the 4th base of the Zerg. This is terrifying. Now, I assumed that it was just going to be a safety Roach Warren to get into Ling Hydra, but no, we are investing to Roach speed and Roach production as well, so Fjant is going to be much more committed early on here. Revelation does get eyes on the Roach Ravager, so Zoun is aware. We do have the Robo on the way, but again, the Robo was delayed in favor of Storm, and this means there's not going to be any Immortals, or the Immortal count's going to be very low for the Roach Ravager composition. So Fjant has potential. Fjant can try to commit. And it looks like Fjant is going for a 3-base all-in. What I'm getting at here is that Fjant, he's on 3-base saturation. The 4th base, I would imagine, is just going to be for Larva. He's on 68 workers, and yep, he's maxing out with Roaches. 15 more Roaches on the way. Lings, they try to hit the natural. Roaches, they're going to be forced back. And Fjant, he's not taking up. And he's getting caught out. Yeah, a lot of Roaches are falling. Too many losses here for Fjant. Fouls that don't quite connect. Ravagers are exposed. And Zoun is going to pick this army apart. Reinforcements are coming in. Files do connect. Fjant forcing back the army. He's down to 1 Ravager. Meanwhile, Lings, they do hit the 3rd. 4 probes going down. It's some damage. Some, but not quite enough. As Zoun holding, Immortal production has begun, so this defense is going to be even stronger. And Fjant is still all in. Again, he's been at 68 workers this entire time. He has not made a drone in quite a number of minutes here. He's just purely committed on Roach production. Just Roach Ravager. Just purely Roach Ravager. It's all or nothing. The longer this game goes on, it is better and better for Zoun. Zoun has got +2 that's about to finish. Remember, Fjant, he has no +2. He has no +2, no Hydras, no Hive, no Lurkers, no nothing. It's just one big all-in. Oh no, the Queens! The Queens are going down. He gets 3. And Fjant, he's on the timer. He has to send it back. Reinforcing with Lings. Is pushing forward. And will take a stasis to the face. Does graze the army. Getting plenty of Blink Stalkers. Immortals, they have arrived. Storms have been available, but we've seen no Storms here at the town. Has needed to. Just focusing on Blink production instead, or Stalker production. And you can see here that Fjant just rammed into a brick wall, and he does not break it down. Stalkers, they avoid the Biles. And this army is just getting weaker and weaker over time for the Zerg. And there's almost nothing left here. We dive on top of the army. GG gets called, and Zoun, he defends against the all-in and takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. And again, this is the kind of aggression that we've been seeing a lot more often these past couple of months. It is not 2 base all-ins or even 2.5 base all-ins. It's all off of 3 base economy, whether it's rushing into Ling Hydra, whether it's maxing out here on Roach Ravager, is more of the kind of aggression we've been seeing here in ZVP. And with that, Fjant just was unable to really get a handle on things. Unfortunately, he was delayed. If you remember, he got supply blocked. He lost his 4th base. That all did slow him down. Did slow him down, and we saw that Zoun was able to just pick apart the army. The Sacer traps did help, of course. And you could even argue that things were looking a little bit dire, or I say dire, a little bit rough for Zoun just because he had teched into Storm and never made use of it. It was fine. It was fine, but he could afford to just invest into other upgrades. Immortal production was in time. And he held well. Did hold well. GG. GG, well played. That is going to lead us into game number 2. It's going to be on Abyssal Reef. A much larger map in the map pool, a lot of bases as well, very defendable. And I'm less confident about these aggressive builds on a map like Abyssal Reef, but we'll get into it. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the South Green Protoss player, the Red Protoss, leading the series 1-0. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Swedish Zerg player, the Yellow Zerg, representing Team Brody. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Fjant. Here we go. Goblin just eliminated a laser. Yo, a laser's been having a rough couple of days. I don't know if you saw, but I think it was yesterday where a laser lost to Jumi in a best of 5. Like, Jumi took down the laser yesterday. Goblin takes down the laser today. A laser. He just wants to play with Infernals. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But GG. GG. Well played to the Goblin. But yeah, Goblin has a very distinct style of PvZ that can be very difficult to deal with. I mean, we've even seen, was it during WTL when Goblin defeated Raynor? It was like second half of last year where Goblin took down Raynor, which was very impressive, very impressive. I mean, something that Goblin is known for is just really defensive play, rushing into Sky Toss and just embracing that kind of like late game army as quickly as possible. That is like his go-to. It's how he was able to bring down Raynor, how he does often approach that matchup. A laser's tilted out of his mind by ZVP. I don't know if a laser's really one to get tilted. It's just it can be a rough matchup. Oh, hello, Fjant. Oh no, is this a build that Evil was talking about? Oh no. Okay, Fjant. My apologies, as we were a little bit sidetracked. Fjant is going to be opening up hatch before gas. Let's go. Going for a very greedy gasless opener, and I believe this was the opener that Eba was talking about. For those that are curious, this is an Eric build. Eric, he did come up with this. Apparently this is a much more efficient way to open up in this matchup, especially because you usually delay your third base a little bit longer. This will delay your second queen. True. This is one of the big things you sacrifice for that hatchery, is your second queen is delayed, but you're able to have extra larvae to work with, of course, and this is supposed to be more efficient. Supposed to be. I've not seen this myself. I've only heard about it in theory. But I've heard amongst the other Zerg players like Lorimbo, like Eba, Fjant as well, about an opener that Eric was messing around with. I think they were all like they were cooking, but they were cooking in the all things Zerg Discord. Like about this. So okay, I'm here for it. I remember, if you recall, Eba attempted this, was it a couple of days ago? It was Eba versus, oh god, all the matches are blending together here. It was Eba versus Skillus, that's it. It was Eba versus Skillus a couple of days ago. And if you remember, Skillus, he pylon blocked Eba at the natural, then Eba fell apart. And he was like, I didn't know what to do. I was doing it for the first time. So we didn't really get to see Eba really embrace it as much as he wanted to. Meanwhile, oh my god, we just see Zoun opening up with the Twilight Council into Glaive Adept. I was distracted here by the gaseous opener. Glaives are on the way. Now, I do really like this here from Zoun, just because, again, with the gaseous opener, it means that link speed is non-existent. It means that your Roach production is going to be a little bit later as well. So in general, tech-wise, there's not really much that Fjant has to work with, and there is a window here where Glaive Adepts can snowball out of control. Now, the SimCity here is something that can be worked with. The opening, though, is a little bit wide, so walling off is not going to be the easiest thing to do here for Fjant, so I'm concerned for him as the Roach Warren's on the way. So is link speed. Link speed just now begins, Roaches as well. Behind this, Zoun is going for, ooh, okay, this is a macro Glaive Adept build. Okay, so what we're seeing here is 3-gate Glaives into a third base. What does this mean? No Robo. There's no Robo, there's no fourth gateway, so there's going to be significantly less Adepts than you would usually see, and there's no reinforcements either. Because there's no Robo, there's no War Prism, there's no reinforcements on the front lines, so this is a more macro variation of this build, which means Fjant has a higher chance of defending against this. This is not as committed from Zoun. Zoun does shade towards the bases. What does Fjant have to work? He has 5 links. So even though this is less committed, this might just end the game, to be honest. This might just end the game. He does shade into the main. There's only 5 links to defend. 6 Roaches are on the way, and again, this wasn't even designed to kill. Remember, Zoun, he's macroing behind this. He's expanding, he's teching. Drones are going down left and right, and everything is on fire. Everything is on fire. 11 drone kills. If Fjant had seen this ahead of time, if Fjant had time to try to wall off and get some SimCity going, then maybe he can buy time and survive. But that's 12 drones. That is brutal damage already. This is too much. This is already just too much damage. They're threatening a shade towards the natural. They commit into the main. They're still not done. Oh no. Oh no. As he does get a 13th worker. Can he get 14? Can he get 15? Can he get 16? Can he... 20? 17 workers going down. Okay, just 17. I mean, I say just 17. That's over a mineral line. That's over a mineral line worth of damage. Ay. The economy here is in shambles, and Fjant, he is down heavily in the worker count. Zoun, he's on 61 probes. He's on almost full 3-base saturation. He's building up his gateway army. Behind this, Blink is halfway done. Immortal production into a Bay, into Disruptors, into Colossus. Zoun defends. Zoun is looking quite comfortable. He's looking very comfortable here. Oh. Oh no. Not like this. So this is like the first and a half time I've seen. It's kind of a weird way to put it. This is now the second attempted time I've seen this build here from Zerg players so far. I feel like I need to watch Eric do it. I feel like if I want to see it done well, I feel like I need to watch Eric, because I mean, again, you can abuse it, right? As we saw with Glaive Adepts, like, it can be torn apart. Fjant is all in. He's on 2-base saturation, 45 workers. And here we go. It's all or nothing for Fjant. Can he break through? The force fields are brutal. There they lock down the Ravagers. Lings, they do fall. The Immortal's a little bit exposed. Biles, they take down one of the Stalkers. One of the Stalkers goes down. Cannon as well. Colossus has arrived. With the arrival of the Colossus, with all these shield batteries, Zoun should be fine. He's going to completely shut this down. The Lings, they melt. The Ravagers are being targeted. There's 5 Ravagers left. Down to 4. Up. Down to 3. Down to 2. It's going to be 1. It's going to be 0. There's nothing left. GG gets called, and Zoun will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Zoun will claim the series. Again, a very interesting build there by Fjant. And again, from my understanding, it is a newer build that a lot of the Zerg players and the Zerg community has been working on, and I have yet to really see it at its full power, at its full force. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm able to at some point. Again, I look forward to casting some Eric, you know, next week or the week after in Code for Giants Cup to see how this all kind of comes together here. Maybe the build still needs a little bit more time in the oven. It's possible it could still be a little bit undercooked. But at the same time, what I will say and what I should emphasize is that Zoun's response was a strong one to go for Glaive Adepts, to harass across the map, considering, you know, that we are, of course, lacking link speed and roaches, and the Zerg players cutting corners in their own way. Just a really good way to abuse that. We could have even seen Zoun commit harder and go for 4-gate Glaive Adepts and move out earlier. Instead, it was just a lighter commitment out of Zoun. Still did plenty of damage. Still popped off. GG. GG, well played. With that, Zoun will advance on into the next round, and the question becomes, does he have an opponent? The answer is yes. He does have an opponent. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. We'll switch our scenes over and catch up.